Renault boss Pierre Dreyfus famously asked his designers for a blue jeans car. So effective was the response that during its 31 years in production, the Renault 4 hardly changed. But in 2011, to celebrate this talismanic car's 50th birthday, Renault invited designers from around the world to reimagine the 4L for a new era. It was an international competition that would inspire thousands of talented people to take part. A contest where the world's most creative minds took on the challenge of designing a Renault forever. With its cars, clothes shops, and coiffured citizens, the visual splendor of Milan celebrates a love of design that can be traced back many centuries. Today, this city is also home to that most modern journalistic phenomenon, an online magazine.
Even if our head offices are in Milan, we don't feel being an Italian publication. We have writers from America, from Korea, from Japan, from Australia. We feel international.
Thanks to this global reach, Design Boom has become the website from which to launch design competitions.
We have a very high quality standard because people compete very seriously. One day, Renault approached us because they were thinking of redesigning this car in a contemporary manner.
No design competition can get started without a brief, which is where Renault's head of design came in.
The key elements that we were looking for in the design brief were in fact two things. First of all, we wanted to capture the look and the style of the vehicle, because of course the vehicle has such an iconic look that we wanted to make sure that that was retained. And the second thing we were looking for is to really place it into the future. So we looked for new design ideas, smart solutions, innovations that would really lead us to sustainable mobility.
This special competition deserved a very special prize. So while the winner will have helped shape a future Renault 4, their reward for success would be a unique piece of the Renault 4's past.
Le gagnant du concours remporte cette magnifique 4L type 1966. C'est une voiture qui a été entièrement préparée par Renault Classique pour participer au rallye Monte-Carlo historique cette année. Donc c'est une voiture très proche de l'origine. Vous voyez qu'elle a son bleu d'origine. Elle a un moteur qui respire un petit peu mieux qu'à l'origine. Le gagnant a énormément de chance. Je crois qu'il fait beaucoup d'envieux.
With a brief and prize in place, in March 2011, the Renault4ever competition was launched through the Design Boom website. Despite just 3 months passing before the deadline, the magazine's staff were overwhelmed by the response.
We were very, very surprised of the high quality standard of all entries. We've seen that people work very, very hard. They have been very passionate about it. We had to cut them down from 3,000 individuals or teams worldwide to a short list of 50. These 50s were then published for an international jury to view.
Joining Birgit to judge the 50 shortlisted designs were 3 of Renault's most senior executives, plus sailing icon and Renault partner, Dame Ellen MacArthur.
It was absolutely amazing to see all the work in the shapes. Some of them had been hand-drawn, many of them had been done on computers. There'd been so much time spent on it.
The jury also included car fanatic and leading graphic designer, Mai Ikuzawa.
It was very, very dangerous for some people to over-stylize, maybe making it too masculine by doing too many flared wheel arches or making it too cute by making it too retro. So getting it right with its original personality is a challenge.
I think companies do competitions because they want to get into touch with the unknown.
Every jury member did his top 5, and in fact we found many cohesive nominations in the fact. So we kind of whittled it down to 3 quite easily in the end.
One of the top 3 prize-winning entries came from a Paris-based team that used their inexperience as car designers to their advantage.
D'un point de vue très naïf, on se demandait en fait si la carrosserie quelle était sa place. Est-ce que c'était une place réellement de protection, comme les voitures de nos grands-pères? Donc nous, on se posait la question, voilà, est-ce que cette peau aujourd'hui ne pourrait pas être autrement qu'en acier et apporter d'autres choses?
It was original touches, such as replacing a conventional body shell with a photovoltaic skin, that impressed the judges.
Lightweight construction, honeycomb structures that, as we know, are the lightest, and then the fabrics that bring back the character of the 61 Renault 4, but in a completely modern way.
It's a small detail, but it's important to me is the rear lights. I love the kind of the graphicness of the triangles that make the indicators and the brake lights in the back.
You know, every part might not be practical today, but they have absolutely thought outside the box, and they've done something very special, I think.
The second entry to make the top 3 was by a Londoner, whose first ideas were sketched during his daily commute to work as a product designer.
All these sketches were done on a train, travelling into and out of London, which is why it's all in a little notebook like this.
Mark soon transferred his drawings to 3D design software. Here, he perfected a concept that impressed as much for its free-thinking ideas on ownership as its looks.
The work he'd done here about, do you change the battery over, do you put an electric drivetrain in there, how does the car actually get powered, can you upgrade that powering system? I thought that was very, very clever and absolutely part of the brief.
Easy to use, easy to drive. It's the most jeans car of all of them.
I think it'd be great to see one of these on the road. I'd love to go for a spin in one.
The last entry in the top 3 came from a city where an original Renault 4 is a very rare sight indeed.
It's a shame that we don't have a Renault 4 on the streets of New York, so I couldn't just run outside and just get a live experience.
In his studio tucked under the majestic Manhattan Bridge, Alan Zadeh came about his idea as much by instinct as cold calculation.
A lot of designers operate like that. They tap into the inner emotions about something and then they build it out to the point that it's ready to be channeled out, and then that's the moment that you feel like, wow, I have this flow and this is it. This is the one. And then you commit to it and then execute.
What I really liked about Alan Zadeh's design was the fact that it seemed to really embody the original spirit of the Renault 4, and also the interior is very, very simple. So when you look at the seats, they're basically one big moulding and all very simple, which would have been very much in keeping with the old car.
The colour palette is great. I love the two-tone tyres. I think it's a really nice way of personalising your car without being over the top. I love the little headlights being recessed behind this plastic panelling. It's clean and it's great.
He's really thought this object through. There's a softness from front to back. Beautifully integrated details with a lovely simplicity. I think this could be a really little beautiful car.
In October 2011, the Renault4ever organisers, judges and participants at last all had the chance to meet at Renault's L'Atelier in Champs-Élysées for the much-anticipated prize-giving ceremony.
It's always good to have one foot clearly in the future. It's also good to have one foot clearly respecting the past. And this is why the design group competition, Renault4ever, was such a great initiative, and we embraced it wholeheartedly. We've done a good job by giving the third prize to Alan Zadeh, who came all the way from the US.
Here to receive a prize of €3,000 for third place, New Yorker Alan Zadeh.
This is really interesting for me because I'm a product designer, and for me, even though I think I can capture the emotional essence of an object, but cars are so complex, and to be able to come to the third place, it was just exceptional feeling. It's great.
Number 2 was a joint collaboration between Jan Terrer and Jerome Garçon.
With a shorter commute to collect the second-place prize of €5,000, the Parisian team of Jérôme Garzon and Yann Terré.
Et finalement, la première réaction, c'était de se dire qu'on avait loupé une marche, celle du première place du podium.
Je pense pas que ce soit le nombre qui soit véritablement important. Ce qui est véritablement le plus encourageant pour nous, c'est qu'on ait réussi à présenter un point de vue en tant que designer.
First prize, the winner.
Out of over 3,000 entries from over 100 countries, it was London's Mark Cunningham who took the top prize of the historic rally-prepared Renault 4.
Winning competition is really up there with the big things that I've achieved in life, and getting married, the birth of my son, number 1 and number 2. But this is probably number 3. This is really impressive.
I'm totally blown away to win. I still can't believe it. So, merci beaucoup.
Well, very welcome. I think what Mark did really well is taking the original spirit of the idea and then placing it in a modern context. So the idea of buying the car and buying the energy source and being able to exchange it, I think those are very interesting ideas. So I thought he was really onto something, and that made his proposal finally well placed with one foot in the past and one foot in the future.
It seems Mark Cunningham may well have designed a Renault4ever blueprint for the future, but for now, thanks to his brilliant work, he can relish the Renault he has today.
It feels amazing to be behind a wheel. It's unbelievable, but it's full of character, and I just can't wait to drive it.